So welcome from the Focus Gaming Media booth to Gil Soffer, who I'm so excited to have here. You are the Senior Vice President, Sales and Business Development of Galaxsys, who are here, have a great presence here at SiGMA 23. Thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure. Let me just introduce myself. I'm a veteran. I've been in the industry for 14 years. You know, it's amazing to be here because it's a big show. I think it's one of the biggest for online. I was, of course, following SiGMA for several years, so it's quite amazing how it expanded. And I think that this year we had so many visitors from different continents looking into our content, and it's great to be here.
But first of all, I just want to, because you are here with Galaxsys, and I just want to introduce, for anybody who doesn't know who you are, it's an iGaming development studio that offers a wide range of fast and skill games in the iGaming industry. So before we go any further, you've just mentioned other companies that you've been with, but give me a little bit of, so you are, as you said, you're a veteran of the industry, but give me a little bit of background and more information about Galaxsys, who you're with today.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, I've been working with slots for many years, and I felt that the slots space is getting to be very mature. As you know more than I do, you have hundreds of slots coming out basically every month. You have many suppliers. And I think that the trend is changing. Today, the new generation is used to the internet. What is internet? I mean, you want everything instantly. And I think that fast games are really the new trend. So it's not just crash games, it's not just a particular game, it's a trend. And Galaxsys produces 30 games that follows this trend. So we have about 5 crash games. We have Plinko, we have Mines, we have Ninja Crash, which I'll be happy to talk to. We have a great game called Atlantis, which I think that many people played as well. So I think that this new generation wants the thrilling experience of playing a game, and not just a regular slot game. And I think that what is particular to Galaxsys is the innovation. Not only do we look at the trends of the market, but we innovate. And what is great about Galaxsys is that we come out with 2 to 4 new games every 1 or 2 months. We started the year with 7 games. Today we have 30 games. And talking about Ninja Crash is spectacular. I mean, it's the number one. It's getting to be the number 1 seller in Brazil.
We come to somewhere like SiGMA. We talk to lots of companies. Lots of companies proclaim to be the best at what they do. But your statement there of innovation is obviously how you create differentiation from your competitors, and that's what you do. Now there's 2 trains of thought there, because there's a train of thought that says players like what they know, they like games that they're familiar with, and then there's the train of thought that says we need to keep players challenged with new games, and I'm seeing that you're sitting probably more on the new games than what players know. Well, how does that work for you guys?
Listen, I think that in this market you need to innovate. You can't just stay on your laurels. I think that what you see in slots is that you have a lot of skins of old slots, and the players are not stupid. They understand this. So I think that what the players are looking for is new types of games. And like I said, the new generation wants the thrilling experience of fast games. So when they play their games, they're excited. Plus there's a social element because in slots people don't post the results. But with our games, people use your social media to post, to communicate, So that's an incredible thing. I mean, that's part of our generation.
So you were just mentioning there about innovation. Everybody says, innovation or let's be a market leader, and we've talked about the difference between innovation and providing games that players are familiar with. But Ninja Crash, you've mentioned it already, is the big game that everybody is talking about with regards to Galaxsys. Tell me about Ninja Crash, because that's really taken the market by storm.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun game. It's a fun game that you can play with mobile. So it's not only the betting element of gain. It's the entertainment part, and I think that this is what providers forget, that we're basically an entertainment company. We want to provide fun to our players, and I think that our not only Ninja Crash but all our games are just pure fun. You play it. Okay, you win, but it's fun. It's fun playing it.
Absolutely, and as you said, we're a culture that wants entertainment. They want fast-moving games. We want to be engaged, and we want that social element as well, which is absolutely brilliant. So tell me a little bit more about 2023. You talked about these games coming out, starting off the year with 7, finishing the year with 30 games. This is massive. So what's been the highlight and the big accomplishments for you?
Listen, first of all, we are a young company. We've been in existence for 1.5, 2 years. I've joined the company, 1 year and a few months ago. And I must say it was a spectacular year because we signed with all the tier ones, I mean, most of them. So we have Entain, we have 888, we are bets on. So it was really great to be able to work with these giants. And plus today we are integrated with most of the aggregators and the platforms. So that means our games are available in all markets. We manage also to get licenses in many regulated markets in such a short time. So we pretty much cover Eastern Europe. We're getting Portugal, we're getting Spain, we're getting Italy. We already have Switzerland, we're getting the UK, and in Latin America we're getting also Colombia and a lot of the regulated markets of Latin America.
How are you doing this? You're 1.5 years old. This is amazing. Well, I mean, obviously not you, you're a veteran, but this is incredible.
It is incredible. I think that we have a great team, especially in product. We're moving fast. And we're not afraid to take a risk. You mentioned innovation. Innovation is a risky business. So a lot of providers prefer to copy, but we take the risk, and it's paying off. So when people see our games, they're quite amazed to see such a variety. And we every time we show our games, we get compliments, and that puts a smile on my face because it shows that what we're doing is really working.
You mentioned risk, and I just as soon as you said that, I remembered I needed to ask you about this because you're talking about this innovation. Innovation, as you've mentioned, means risk. How do you make the balance? How do you balance out innovation and risk? Because in this marketplace, if you take a risk and it doesn't work, you're in a compromised position. So how do you minimize that risk?
Well, first of all, you follow the trends. I mean, you don't start from scratch. You see what is trendy. But sometimes you do take risks. For example, Ninja Crash is a very good example. Ninja Crash doesn't exist. It's our own creation. So we took the risk in coming out of this concept, and it's paying off. So I mean, you need to go to the market with what the market is used to, but you never should forget the innovation, because even if you go and with trendy games, you need to innovate and add. If you're just reproducing something that exists, it's not. First of all, it's not fun, and secondly, it's not good business.
Now you're talking about innovation. I love it. I love hearing this. It's absolutely brilliant. talking about innovation, talking about the product Ninja Crush, talking about the markets, because you mentioned different markets that you are in and exploring. How does Ninja Crush, let's take that as an example, how does that differentiate between markets such as, a lot of people here at SiGMA are talking about LATAM, they're talking about Brazil. Brazil has been a market that everyone's been talking about, and also about Africa as well, touching on Africa, and a lot of people are citing that. So if you take a game, like you said, is there any development to change that, or you just go out with that and say, this game is for this market and we're just going to make it work?
Listen, we live in an age where you cannot differentiate between the markets. I mean, a trend that works in one market usually gets to other markets. Brazil is a tremendous market. We have 80-90% of the main operators there. We started with our crash games. Like I said, we have 5 crash games. We just developed a new one, Maestro. And then we tried the Ninja Crash. And what is incredible is that the operators contact us, even new operators that we weren't in contact with, and they ask for the game. And I believe that this trend will catch all the other markets, because today we have a very good position in Europe, in Africa, Latin America we mentioned, but in Asia our games are doing well as well. So we are a global company. So we go where our games are popular, and we see that this popularity is now everywhere. So
Gil, you've been around for a year and a half. You've got award-winning games, and you're taking over the world, and people are copying your games as well. It sounds like you've made it. But what's on the agenda for 2024?
So what is on the agenda is, first of all, some more exciting games. We might develop other types of content, which we're envisaging. But we're conquering the world, but it's not conquered yet. So we have a lot of work to do.
I like that.
Especially in our industry, where between when a deal is signed until we go live, there's a big time lapse, unfortunately, a big gap. And plus, in the regulated markets, our intention is to cover each regulated market with 80-90% of the main operators. So that requires a lot of work, and we have great expectations for 2024.
I am really excited for you, and I'm wishing you guys the very, very best for the coming year. Thank you so much for spending time with me.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure. I always read Focus News. I post it a lot, and I love what you do.